Today we're talking about arrays. What exactly is an array? An array is a collection of objects, and there are a few things about those objects that are always the same when we're talking about arrays. First of all, each row has the same number of objects, and each column has the same number of objects. And the third thing is that those objects are always in the shape of a rectangle. So if I come over here, I look and I see that I have 1, 2, 3 rows, and then I have 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And if you notice, the same number of objects in each row, same number of objects in each column. So I'm going to take a look at that array and create a number model. And this is what you're going to be asked to do tomorrow in class. So let's first take a look at this. How would I come up with a number model? I'm simply going to look at how many rows, that's 3, and multiply by how many columns, 4. And that gives me my number model of 3 times 4 equals 12. So what happens then if I reverse that and instead I have 4 rows and I have 3 columns? Does it change the number of objects that I have? And the answer is no. And you probably know this is called the commutative property. I'm just going to write that in for you. So the commutative properties, basically it doesn't matter the order. So if it's 3 times 4 or 4 times 3, it's going to be the same. So in this case, we have instead, I'm going to go up and grab this pen, and instead we have 4 rows times 3 columns. And the outcome is going to be exactly the same, 12. So next I'm going to ask you to think of all the different ways that you could create number models for the number 12, which is what we started with. And just write that up there, that's your target. So each of these, so this first one over here, this was 3 rows by 4 columns. This one, using the commutative property, we know that it's going to be the same outcome. We just switch, so instead we have 4 rows and 3 columns. In this one over here, we have 2 rows times 6, so it's 2 rows and 6 columns. And in this case, we flipped it so that we have 6 rows and 2 columns. And the outcome of all these, of course, is 12. So what I'm asking you is, did I leave any out? So for part of tonight's homework, as you're watching the video and you're writing your notes and asking questions, what would be the other array that I could create? There's actually, so what's the other array that I left out that would equal 12?